This is going to be about how precious and rare real people are, so you should know the real Jesus Christ, and you should read the King James New Testament, especially where Jesus talks about the wheat and the tares, and Jesus was constantly getting into arguments with bad people, tares, and he says, "You shall know them by their fruits," and he talks about how they're going to get burnt. And you should also read the book of Isaiah, which is extremely relevant for today. I mean, just time is sped up, and the sun is a lot brighter, and so is the moon. And sometimes, in the recent past, like last year, the moon was constantly being absent when it wasn't shining brilliantly. So we're in Isaiah prophecy. And real people are just so rare. The world is full of illusions. And you notice that illusion is like this whole class of magic. I don't know much about magic, but I know that some of it's real. But I think only illusion is real. I think that's the only form of real magic. And that, like, transmutation and stuff like that, I think that only exists in fiction. I think that it's red herring stuff. A common way that truth gets obscured is by throwing a lot of garbage up so that the people who don't have insider knowledge have to sort through red herrings and find the real thing. And it's basically like looking for a needle in a haystack. And on that note, that's actually the exact same way people will obscure Facebook profiles. They can't delete their Facebook profiles, so they create a bunch of junk profiles with fake faces and fake bios, but the name is the same thing. So there's that theme too. The names will be the same, but everything else is going to be completely different. That is going to come up a lot. Now, there's a huge illusion on the internet that the internet is actually popular. It isn't. It is not. In fact, I kind of think that this whole push for everything being connected to the internet, everything is online. You have to apply online to get a job when it used to not be that way. I think that's there to force people to use the internet, and they wouldn't use it otherwise. I think that people are just being pushed into using the internet against their preferences because in real life, people do not they might look at YouTube, they might look at Reddit, they might look at Instagram, but only a few people actually use them. They don't use their accounts, they don't have accounts a lot of the time. And I don't know what people are doing with Facebook. Probably very limited, directly personal stuff. I wouldn't know about it. Anyway, you have to understand that real people are incredibly rare and precious. And the fake people, they are obsessed with us. If they find out we exist, they will not stop talking about us. They will ping our usernames if they sniff us out. And if you manage to find the little secret clubhouses on the internet, they're just going to do nothing but sit there and talk trash about real people that have appeared on their radars. And when you're sniffing around on the web and you're reading articles, usually you'll find various flavors of shill comments under the articles, but sometimes, just sometimes, you find a comment written by a human from 10 years ago, and you notice it. It sticks with you. You remember it because fake people have their vibes, but real people do too. And when you find something that a genuine person actually left, you remember it, and it stands out to you. It's kind of a mixture of hopeful and lonely. You feel sad that the comment was from 10 years ago and you'll never meet that person. But, when you connect with somebody, which is pretty rare, you feel it in your heart. And it's really a special feeling that is rare. But the thing about rare things is that they're precious. And, when things kind of get spammed and overused, they lose their value. They lose their impact. An example is, the idea behind sex sells, so you just see booties and tits everywhere and it loses its impact. And not only that, but those things are fake and photoshopped, so, like, advertisers are throwing fake boobs and fake butts in your face to try and get you to buy something, but all it does is annoy people. It's not appealing. Yeah, when things are overused, they become devalued. And real people are just so wonderful and precious that the fake people, everything they do revolves around you personally. When they're talking to each other, they're talking about you. It's really creepy, but get used to it. I guarantee you, they're doing it. And I'm going to talk more about how all news is fake, and other people have too, so, find other people talking about how the news is fake, but some of them are straw men. When it comes to fake Christians, a good way to put it is, do you ever feel like most people calling themselves Christians are walking straw men? Yeah, there's straw men people in real life. It's really weird. Okay, when you realize what's going on, things are pretty weird, but you get more and more used to it. You don't really get mind obliterated anymore, because the next time something happens and you realize what was going on, you kind of wonder, like, okay, if I learned about this 10 years ago, how would I have reacted? Well, it turns out you handle it pretty well because you have no choice. You have no choice but to accept it. Anyway, so on to fake junk news. There's a lot of stories about magical, gifted, savant children. They don't exist. You know how those stories go where there's like this magical, precious indigo child, star baby that is a 300 million IQ and invented everything and saved the whole world, except he died when he was 10 and the world lost a shining beacon of greatness. Boo-hoo, sad, sob, sob. Yeah, those stories the purpose of them is to not only make you feel sad, which you shouldn't because they're fake, but they're trying to tell you that a precious, valuable person is some really rare, gifted, genius inventor child, but the people that truly matter are normal, and there's so few of us. We're just normal. That's all that we are. We're normal. We're inherently special because our world is upside down. We live in an inverted world where black is white, up is down, hot is cold, sweet is bitter. Search those in, like, the Old Testament. Woe to those who put light for dark and sweet for bitter, and etc. We live in this world has to end. It has to end. It can't keep going like this. Oh, and another illusion about the world is that everything is running smoothly, but anybody could actually tell you things are not running smoothly, everything is running very badly. But when you're normal, just ordinary, mediocre, you're so precious and amazing because, Stephen Hawking. Just look up old photos of Stephen Hawking throughout the years and read the backstory. Hint, backstory is BS, just telling you. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that was a real person? Do you think that person actually existed? There's just so much of this stuff. And, well, as for the internet, I think that the purpose is, there's this giant push to force people to use the internet whether they want to or not, and I can tell you, they would if it was good, but they do not because it is terrible. So, there's this, I guess I'll just call them the controllers. It's this big nebulous group of people of various levels in society, just amorphic. There's a lot of infighting. They don't like each other, but they just kind of agreed to work for the same agenda. So I'm just going to call them the controllers and the influencers. It's not like the Illuminati. That's a red herring. The Illuminati is just kind of a big joke. But they're trying to get what few normal people remain to use the internet but not engage in it. They want a screen in everyone's face to program how they perceive reality, and because people have gone to the internet instead of TV, now the controllers are going, okay, we're just going to have to use the internet now, and they've flooded the internet with fake shills. That was kind of redundant, and shills have always been on the internet, but there's even more of them today, and if they find a real person, they will harass them off the website, because they want you to look but not touch. So they really want you to pay attention. But everything is so manic and fast-paced on the internet. All the memes are made up and forced. They're all forced memes. There's no such thing as an organic meme. And all the shows are producing these things and shoving along social agendas really fast. Everything is so fast-paced and just at a frantic pace. Because they're trying to disrupt your thinking process. They're trying to program your brain into flickering rapidly instead of being slow and gradual and evenly paced the way real people are supposed to be. And what they really fear is people on the internet, real people, connecting with each other. You know how there's no truth in advertising and websites will want you to get on them. But if you engage and you're a real person, they're going to try and ban you. They will look for any reason to ban you. If they don't like you but you didn't do anything wrong, they will frame you. But if you go under the radar, they won't notice you, so you can avoid them. But they do not want real people to actually engage and use their service. They want the real people to look at the website and go, okay, this is my reality. This is the world I live in. And I'll talk about that again.